When working with Sony cameras, things get a little bit more complicated, but nothing to worry about. I'm going to explain you, take you step by step through the process to make sure you get the looks in Sony right. So let's go ahead and basically, if you haven't done so, import the test footage for Sony cameras. I'm going to go into my timelines. I'm going to say create new timeline, and I'm going to call this timeline Sony. Great. And then I will basically select one shot from Sony camera. In this case is going to be A001C002. Okay, fantastic. So this is my shot. Okay. Now, first thing what we have to do is we have to interpret Sony RAW in the right way. So go into your settings, camera RAW, and then basically select Sony RAW. Okay, you can do full res Resolve, which is like a GPU accelerated version of it. Then white balance you can use as shot. Color space has to be sgamut3.cine. No sgamut3 or sgamut3.cine, and then gamma should be slog3. These are the only settings that will work with Colourlab. And then when it comes to use camera metadata, just select the exposure. Because we have already selected white balance as shot, we're going to go and leave this one untouched. So we're going to save these settings. Great. Now I'm going to go into color. Now the first thing that you notice is that we have a little problem here with the white balance. So what happened when this footage was shot, the white balance was set wrongly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change it to clip. Okay, and then instead of having white balance as shot, we're going to select tungsten. So now, as you can see, we are like a pretty close to where we want to be. Okay, great. Now Alt S for opening another serial node, drag and drop Colourlab plugin. Great. And now what we're going to do is first select the camera. So the camera is going to be Sony 3. So Sony 3 is basically for all S-Log3 shot cameras. So this is going to work, with every Sony camera as long as you are able to interpret the raw footage, or if you shot footage already with settings of S-Log3 and sgamut3.cine. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to go and say select my S1 contrast and my neutral palette, and that is going to give you very quickly like a beautiful result for Sony camera. Now particularly what I think I'm going to do here now is I'm going to change my exposure slightly, and I like to always do these tweaks on the raw because I get that way a little bit cleaner results. So you see I have now changed my exposure to 400, which is really what this shot was exposed for. So suddenly, everything seems to be working really well. So in general, practice is to try to use your raw settings to the maximum, which is really going to help you to create the cleanest results. This is basically the Sony cameras.